Today I had the opportunity to observe a confrontation between two men that I know, and why the confrontation started is not of importance concerning what I'm saying, but it was the result of tensions, egos, and as I always add, an extra layer, the lack of spiritual alignment, which tensions and egos are the result of the lack of spiritual alignment. So, anyway, the argument ensued, and everybody wanted to get their points across. Everybody wanted, and it's only two people, but they both wanted to be understood, be heard. I want to show you where my frustration is. I want to show you how you have hurt me, how you have offended me. However, I don't have the words. I don't have the ability to articulate calmly how you have offended me. And then also I have my ego at play. So I have a certain way that I'm used to showing you how I treat people who offend me. So when we are operating in the lack of spiritual alignment, and I'm not talking about religion, I'm not talking about being saved. Those are different concepts that I don't go on. However, I do understand and know spiritual alignment, because as I always teach and I always say, spiritual alignment is what we need to come back to the way in which we was designed. We were designed to have spiritual alignment with the divine at all times. We were designed to stay in connection to that spiritual alignment, to that divinity all times. And our goal in this lifetime is to remain and to continually try to attain that alignment. Is it hard? Yes. We're on this human side and it's never going to be straight cut. None of us are ever going to be, but the goal is always to maintain that spiritual alignment. That's how we make this life easier and consumable by ourselves. So anyway, the lack of spiritual alignment puts us in a place where I act how I'm used to acting. I'm used to showing you how high I can go, how you can't beat me and going, like I can set it off in here. And I'm going to say for African American people, we love to set it off and we love to let you know we will set it off. Okay? And so with the lack of the ability to communicate calmly and say, listen, I am frustrated because I have been treated like this in the past. I am frustrated because people have made me feel, people have devalued me in the past. At this point right now, you're devaluing me how people have made me feel, so I am up to here with you. Do people argue like this and have these conversations? I understand they don't. A lot of people tell me I live in a fairy tale land, but I'm telling you ideally how this should have happened to allow it to flow. The other person could have responded, yes, I understand how I'm making you feel, but you're making me feel as if I owe you compensation for how someone else has made you feel. And also you have not communicated to me properly in a way in which I can receive what you're saying and apply it to the situation and treat you better. I don't understand. And so now we've got two people who are frustrated and angry about the same situation with two very different perspectives. Both perspectives very understandable, but neither is hearing the other, because I lack spiritual alignment and I lack and because of that, I lack the ability to appropriately communicate. This is just another point of why I remind people to practice meditation. I tell people to practice meditation because it is what is needed to feed into that spiritual alignment and that divine alignment that we need to have to communicate how we need to communicate, to live how we need to live, to cope in this life. When we don't work on that connection, we're always going to have situations in which we feel like the victim. victimhood. Like, we hate feeling victimhood. And when we don't understand how to address it, when we don't understand how to let other people know that they're hurting us, we are always going to run into confrontations and situations that don't feel good. Like, we want to, like I said, people of our culture, we want people to know that we'll go off and we'll take it there. But honestly, nobody likes that feeling. Nobody likes to be angry. Nobody likes to be, it's such a horrible feeling. And when you kind of bring yourself back and you calm down, and when you really bring yourself and you start to feel your alignment a little bit more, you wish that you had reacted better. You wish that you had moved clearer. Now, I'll say this. At the end of this conversation, I believe that these two people were able to have a conversation, and that they were able to hash out whatever happened. I'm not absolutely sure. But when you can calm down, when someone, because it takes someone, I always say, a person does not argue with themselves. A person is not angry, cannot be angry by themselves. So when you have someone that can say, this is how we are going to handle this. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to fight with you. This is my perspective. Guess what? Because the energy has to align, you bring that person back down too. And then when you bring that person back down, now we're on a more even playing field vibrationally, and we can have a conversation. And I'm not saying that it's the most high vibrational conversation, but we can slow down and hear one another. So my point is the importance of your spiritual alignment when it comes to dealing with confrontations with other people. I'm Nikki Martin, your spiritual guru. Follow me, like, follow, and share for more of this type of content.